Hey everyone, I hope you're doing great, and you are probably wondering why the title of this video says the Cessna Citation, not the Airbus A380. I've been actually building the Citation for over 2 months, and the main purpose of the Citation is I wanna try new stuff and new methods. I wanna learn new ways of building airplanes, and now because I have a CNC machine, so I am basically unstoppable. I wanna try new stuff and hopefully apply all these new methods. If everything worked as I'm planning, apply all that on the Airbus A380 and make it really perfect. And so I wasn't planning to make any videos about the Citation, and that's why I did not film anything until now. I thought I will keep it as a side project, but it's coming along really nice and beautiful, so I thought I'll make 2 or 3 videos about it and share with you the experience and the new methods I'm using, and hopefully you also benefit from it and learn new stuff with me. And so let me show you what I've done so far. Alright, this is the fuselage and it's looking really nice. I did not wash the PVA yet, it's not shining. And I made both sides and already installed some ribs inside. There's a support for the stabilizer there, and I made it half fiberglass and half carbon. Here would be like the receivers and antennas, so a carbon won't affect the signal, and I put carbon only on the area that I want it to be strong, like the wing box and the engine's mount plus the stabilizer, because the elevator will be mounted in here, so this area must be strong. And so it's ready to be closed, but before that I have to make the base for the nose gear. It would be a piece of wood inside, and also I have to make the mounts for the ADFs in here, and that means the fuselage must be glued together outside the mold, because there will be pieces of wood coming out of here. I already marked the cut. And yeah, so now let's put the CNC machine to use. I will design the base for the nose gear and the ADF's mount, and then cut them and see how it goes. Alright, I get tons of questions on YouTube how I make my 3D models, and especially from my Patreons. They ask me a lot to show the process of making the molds and 3D modeling and stuff like that. And so I buy the model online. They are not cheap, of course, but they are good if you are willing to spend a week or 10 days just adjusting everything to your needs. For example, that's the Citation here on the screen. That's in Fusion 360. I bought the model online. I just use the fuselage, wings, elevator, engine nacelle, stuff like that. I do it myself from scratch, but the fuselage, I take the shape of the fuselage, and of course sometimes I have to adjust many things in it before I convert it to solid and make the molds out of it. So that's a question answered. Okay, so this is the Citation, and you see that's the fuselage. The wings were like that. This was the profile of the wing, which is, there's no profile, just whatever. And so I had to make it all from scratch, and it worked. There are so many things inside, and I had to remove all that, and even the windows here. There were so many things, and I had to even the windows, make them deeper, the cut for the mount for the ADFs, the rudder as well, and all these stuff. And then after that I make the molds, which is simple. After I finish that, making the molds is very easy actually. And so already made the nose gear base simply like this, and it's ready to be machined on the CNC. And even I prepared all that for the rudder and all these stuff. And this is the engine nacelle. I made it from scratch. It's a bit bigger than the original. I had to make it a bit bigger because to house the ADF and all these stuff, I made it on AutoCAD. It's easier here. And then after I finish the whole thing, I imported to Fusion 360 and then continue from there. This was not so easy to make, but I made it, and it looks really scale, just like the real thing, but slightly fat, I would say. And this is the mounts for the ADFs, and these pieces go inside the fuselage. I will cut these later, and these are ready to be cut on the CNC machine. And what I love about the Fusion 360 is you can, from here, using the manufacturer tab, you can easily export the G code directly from here to the CNC, and it's really cool. Alright, so now let's put my Stepcraft CNC to work and cut all this stuff. I'm so excited. Alright, so this is the nose gear base. It's ready for the retract here with the screws. This is made out of 8mm plywood. This one is really stiff wood, really nice. I made the first one. This is 10mm plywood, but this wood is much lighter and it's a piece like this, like paper, which is it's lighter and thicker, but it's not strong enough. And so I decided to do it with 8mm. And this is the EDF's mount. I remember when I used to do it before I had the CNC machine, I used to cut all that by hand and it was a nightmare. But now thankfully with the CNC machine, it's perfect and precise and really nice. And so it goes like that, and these pieces, these pieces of wood here, they go between them and the EDF will be screwed on this, and yeah, this looks so good. So now I will glue this inside the nose. Of course it has to be glued one side and then put glue in here and close the other side, and I will use the laser to align that with 90 degrees with the fuselage, and also glue this inside and install some cables and just take a final look at it and hopefully glue the fuselage together. Alright. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is a full-featured custom PCB prototype service with 24 hours express fabrication. They offer instant quote, rapid prototyping, PCB assembly, and more. They are now offering 10% discount on their new rapid prototyping and manufacturing capabilities like CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, and injection molding, using all kinds of materials like aluminium, stainless steel, brass, and copper. Check them out at pcbway.com. So this is done, and I installed the cables that are hard to install later for the servos, and there is a light here in the top. Also added 3 ribs here and the stabilizer, and these are also rounded so I can cut it later and take the rudder out and install the servo and stuff like that. All that I made all that on Fusion 360, all these stuff. And also this kind of bracket to hold the main spar, and there are 2 more spars, and this is actually lower than these, around 2 or 3 millimeters, so this will give me 2 degrees dihedral, because the main spar will be cut in half. It won't be one piece going through the fuselage, it will be in 2 pieces, because I could not get the 5 degrees dihedral on the wings because they are thin and the main spar won't reach all that. So I made 2 degrees inside the wing and 2 degrees in here, so I got 4 degrees dihedral, which is good enough. And yeah, this bracket will be tricky to glue or install inside. We'll see about that. So I'll mix some epoxy with micro balloons and glue the fuselage together. Alright, it's done. Took me around an hour to glue it together, and I put some screws here around the whole nose to make sure that the surface is really together or like flat. And yeah, looking good. I will leave it for 48 hours and even more to make sure that the epoxy is really cured. And this other side of the bracket is glued here, is off a bit. I can fill that later when I cut the hatch. And yeah, I made the engine nacelles a little bit bigger than the original because they are really tiny, so the ADF will barely fit inside. I will be using 110 millimeters ADFs, and so I made it a bit bigger and even higher than the original, but hopefully it's not too high. It feels like it's too high. We will see about that, but they look symmetric and very good. All right. All right, so I just washed the BVA and it's super clean and shiny, and the strength is really good. I mean, I always expect that the carbon fiber, where there's carbon fiber, is stronger than fiberglass, but here, especially on the nose, especially this side here, I did add an extra 200 grams layer of fiberglass, so total is 560 grams per square meter fiberglass, which is 3 layers, and that is really strong. It's like, usually if you make fiberglass, it bends easily, but this is really good. And so the seam here is really clean and nice, and the next step would be I want to fill that now, especially these holes from the screws. And this part here, you can see this side is a little bit lower than the other side, so this must be filled all the way around the whole fuselage, and then sand it, smooth it, and then I will sand the fuselage with I guess 400 grit, and then I will spray it with primer to have it in one color, because there's always some I don't know if they are visible in the camera, but for example this one here, this is a bit low, and so this has to be filled. So when the fuselage is in one color, I can see these curves. I mean, the mold is good, but it's not perfect because obviously it's 3D printed, and so there must be some work on the fuselage before this one. Now I can see it is visible. This one is up. This must be sanded. So yeah, to get these final details, smooth the fuselage, and then I can go ahead and start cutting like the hatch, windows, the nose gear and stuff. Even I can cut out the rudder and these stuff. Total weight of this now is exactly 3 kilograms, which is good. So the fuselage is completely sanded, and I want to spray it with primer, and outside it's so cold and so windy, so there's no way, but I have to spray it. So I'm spraying like small parts and waiting, otherwise I will die here in my workshop. See here, when I spray it I can see all the pinholes and stuff like that. This must be all filled later, and so yeah, this will take me maybe the whole day to paint all that. Anyways, alright, done with primer, and it looks good. I thought that I will, after I painted, I thought I would find so many pinholes and things that I have to fill, but turned out just few holes. This one here, because I did not use a vacuum, there are some. And so next step would be, I will just fill these, sand them down, and then I will smooth the fuselage, wet sand it, and basically make it ready for the vinyl or paint, whatever I will do at the end, before I cut the hatch and the windows and stuff like that. And still the hatch, I'm still not sure where the hatch would be. Is it going to be on the side or the top like the Gulf Stream? I'm still not sure. And also the windows, before I cut the windows, especially the cockpit window here, I have to melt the plastic or the acrylic for the shape of that, then I can cut it, then put the plastic here or the window itself. And yeah, this is looking so good, and I'm so happy with that. Alright, I think enough for this video. This is the left wing, by the way, just the bottom side of it. It's carbon fiber, and all these flips are cut on the CNC. So nice and clean. I'm still printing the top side. That's so cool. All the cuts for the landing gear, servos and all these stuff. This will be in the next video of the Citation. So the next video would be the A380, hopefully part 1. I am still printing because this thing is humongous, and this is, guess what is that? That's the vertical stabilizer of the A380. It's almost the same size of the Citation wings, and this is just the stabilizer. Still the rudder, I will make a separate mold for the rudder. It will be something like this, so big, and that's why it's taken forever to finish printing. And so hopefully in the next video I will cast the first side of the A380. Still so much to prepare. I did not touch it yet. I still have to sand and prepare the molds and all this stuff. So stay tuned for the build video of the A380, and thank you so much for watching. Also huge thanks to my Patreons for their amazing support. And also subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.